Hey everyone, this is just going to be a short video. It's going to hopefully show you how to use your screenshot function in Microsoft Word to save a bunch of paper and time on your labs. So I'm going to go into our class here. This is for environmental science. Don't worry about it. It's the same process for geology. This is just an example. So I'm just going to scroll over and click modules and go to a little activity that we have coming up, this graphing exercise. And I'm going to click measurement in units. And I'm supposed to plot a best fit line on this graph and calculate the slope. So here's the graph, and the data that I need to plot on there is right up here. So a quick and easy little thing to do is to screenshot this rather than print it out and do everything by hand, and then import it into Microsoft Word. I have a Mac, so I'm going to use Command-Shift-4, and my cursor is going to turn into this little crosshair thing here, and I'm just going to select the area that I want to capture. So I do it like this, boom. And now I have this little PNG file on my desktop. Okay, so I've just taken that picture, saved it to my desktop. So now what I want to do is import that into Microsoft Word where I can actually edit it. So here it is. How do you do it? Go in. And there's my graph. So in Word, I can do all kinds of cool things. So I'm going to just sort of blow this up, and I'm going to make it easy to see. So I'm going to go to View over here and zoom it in a little bit. Let's at least go that much, maybe more. Let's go to 200. Now notice that this is a really high quality image, and I can do all kinds of things in here in Word. So I'm supposed to plot this data. If I get my screen out of the way, I can actually see the data and go back up here and go, okay, I'm supposed to plot that experimental data, so I'm just going to move this off to the side and plot these numbers over here on my graph. How am I going to do that? Well, I can go to the draw function in Word, which is right up here in the upper left. And I'm going to have some options for different writing utensils. So here is the pen. This is kind of one that I use a lot. This is a pencil. This is a highlighter. And when I click this, it's going to give me a whole bunch of color options and sizes. So I'm just going to go with this size right here, and I'm going to just keep it purple. So now that I have this, click purple, and now it knows that I want to do this, and I can write with this just using my mouse if I want. So graphing, kind of slow, but it gets the job done. Okay. So I can draw now on this. Now if I want to plot the points on here, I just do that. 0.75, 0.75 is probably right there. So there's my first data point. 2 and 0.8, this one's going to go right there. And then I'm not going to do the rest of these, but I'll just put some points on here so you can kind of see how this works. There we go. So now I have a whole bunch of points, and I need to draw a best fit line now through these points. Now I could put shapes on here, I could draw triangles, whatever you want to do, or just make them different colors. It's really easy to change all that. But if I go here to Insert in the upper left hand corner, I get all sorts of options for shapes, pictures, things like that that I might want to put on. So if I go to Shapes, I'm going to grab this line right here, and I'm just going to eyeball this and draw a best fit line through my data points. And that looks like a pretty good average right there. Only I think my line's a little bit too skinny. So what do? I can come over here, and if this little menu doesn't pop up, you can double click your line and it will. And I can adjust the width. So I can say, okay, that was too skinny, I'm going to make it thicker. So I'm going to go all the way up to 2.25 here. Now I have a nice thick best fit line. And that looks good to me, so I'm going to go ahead and close this, and voila. Now I have the points plotted and I have my best fit line here. It's looking really good. Now I might want to do the math right over here. I could either draw it out by hand using my mouse and the draw tool again. I could try to figure out, choose 2 points on this line. Let's just do that. Let's see. There. And let's say I want to pick this point right here. And maybe, see, this point right here looks pretty close. So I'm going to use those 2 points to calculate my slope. I'm going to do the math, the rise over the run, that's 0.8. The 0.8 minus this one is 0.11, or 1.1, I'm sorry. And then I'm going to divide that by, looks like 11 right there, and 2, so 11 minus 2. And this is going to be for days, and this is kilograms. Oops, screwing up already. Supposed to do the big one first, because it's not going to be negative kilograms, so it would be 1.1 minus 0.8. So regardless, I get this done, and I draw my answer down here, and I'm happy. That's not correct, so don't do what I just did. But anyway, now that you have a complete diagram here, you think it's ready to turn in, you double checked it, everything's looking good. I just go back now and screenshot this thing. So for me, again, it's Command-Shift-4. I get my little crosshairs out here, and I just select this whole thing. And now I have a beautiful PNG right over here on my desktop that I can use to submit back here in the quiz. So I go back, I go to modules again, I go to the first quiz question, which is right here. The graphing exercise, I click that. It's going to pop up, and any minute, buddy. Okay, come on, cat. All right, so I just hit preview, and on the very first question, I have to do this. So it says submit, choose a file. So I click choose a file, and then right off my desktop, there's my screenshot. Well, I'm all good. So super easy, much better than trying to write this all out by hand and then trying to take a picture of it and send it in that way. And you do not have to print. And this is going to work for anything in here that you have to write or draw on. Okay? Good luck.